Together, we will face whatever darkness remains, Cedric declared, holding Eleanor tightly, feeling the warmth of her presence dispelling the last remnants of fear. Van Helsing nodded solemnly, scanning the remnants of their battleground. The grand ballroom was a wreck. Debris lay strewn across the floor, remnants of shattered furniture and cracked stone. A stark reminder of the battle they had just fought. Alucard's dark presence seemed to linger in the corners, a whisper of a threat that might return. "We need to ensure this castle is purged of his influence," Van Helsing said, his voice steady despite the tremors of exhaustion. "We cannot allow him to rise again." Eleanor's eyes sparkled with determination, her newfound strength coursing through her veins. "What can we do? I will not let his darkness haunt us any longer." Cedric wiped the sweat from his brow, a mix of pride and concern filling his heart. "We must find the source of his power, the remnants that might still linger within these walls." They moved cautiously through the castle, exploring darkened corridors and echoing chambers. Each room held remnants of a dark history, whispers of Alucard's previous reign echoing through time. As they descended deeper into the castle's depths, an unsettling feeling enveloped them. Here, Van Helsing pointed to an ancient door at the end of a narrow passage, adorned with cryptic symbols and dark stains that marred its surface. This could be where he drew his power from. With a nod of determination, Cedric pushed the door open, revealing a dark chamber filled with ancient artifacts and remnants of dark magic. The air felt thick and oppressive, as if the very walls were saturated with Alucard's essence. Inside the chamber, a massive stone altar stood at its center, covered in dust but still radiating a faint, malevolent energy. Old tomes and scrolls lay scattered about, their pages worn and fragile, hinting at the dark rituals performed long ago. "Help me search for anything that could contain his spirit," Cedric instructed, his heart pounding. Eleanor and Van Helsing began sifting through the artifacts, careful not to disturb anything too profoundly. As they searched, Eleanor's fingers brushed against an intricately carved amulet, half buried beneath layers of grime. Instantly, a jolt of energy surged through her, and visions of Alucard's past flickered before her eyes. His rise to power, his insatiable hunger, and the souls he had claimed. "Father, look at this," Eleanor gasped, holding the amulet aloft. Its surface shimmered ominously, pulsating with a dark glow. Van Helsing moved closer, eyes narrowing. "That amulet is a vessel. It holds part of his essence, a connection to the dark magic that binds him." Cedric felt the weight of the moment settle upon them. "We must destroy it. It's the only way to ensure his power cannot return." Eleanor hesitated, the amulet's dark allure tugging at her. "But what if it holds secrets we could use against him? What if—" "No," Van Helsing interjected, the urgency in his voice cutting through her indecision. "Every moment you hesitate allows darkness to seep back into this world. We must act." Cedric nodded, his resolve firm. "We cannot allow his spirit to rise again. This is for you, for all of us." With trembling hands, Eleanor raised the amulet higher, feeling its dark energy swirl around her. In that instant, the memories flooded back, of Alucard's sinister whispers, his promises of power. She felt a surge of strength and clarity. "Together," Cedric said, placing his hand over hers, joining their strength. "On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. With a collective surge of energy, they hurled the amulet against the altar. It shattered upon impact, unleashing a blinding light that enveloped the chamber. Shadows writhed and shrieked, trying to reclaim the darkness, but their efforts were in vain. As the light consumed the remnants of Alucard's power, the ground shook violently. The castle trembled as if awakening from a long, dark slumber. Cracks spread through the walls, the ancient stones groaning in protest. "Hold on," Van Helsing shouted, bracing against the altar as the very foundation of the castle shook. Eleanor felt a wave of relief wash over her, the darkness lifting, as if a great weight was being lifted from her soul. "It's working." But Alucard's rage was not easily quelled. From the remnants of darkness, a ghastly shadow began to form, coalescing into a nightmarish visage. The air thickened with malevolence as Alucard's essence sought revenge, furious and unwilling to be banished. "You think you can rid me so easily?" His voice thundered, echoing throughout the chamber. "I will return. I am eternal." Cedric and Van Helsing stood firm, hearts pounding. "Not while we stand united," Cedric yelled, his spirit ignited by the love for his daughter and the courage to fight against the darkness. Together, they raised their arms, channeling all their combined strength toward the swirling shadow, igniting a beacon of light that pierced the darkness. "By the power of light and love, we banish you," Van Helsing proclaimed, the force of their combined will radiating from their beings. The chamber erupted in a spectacular display of light and shadow, the two forces colliding in a cataclysmic struggle. The darkness writhed, twisting violently against the brilliance of their unity. Alucard's scream echoed through the halls, a chilling testament to his fading power. As the light surged forward, Alucard's form began to fracture, tendrils of shadow evaporating into the air. "No, you will pay for this." His fury transformed into desperation as he was torn apart by the radiant energy surrounding him. With one final, cataclysmic burst, the darkness imploded, leaving nothing but silence in its wake. The remnants of Alucard's essence dissipated like mist, the air filled with an ethereal calm. As the last echoes of the confrontation faded, the chamber fell silent. Light flooded the room, illuminating every corner and dispelling the remnants of darkness. Cedric, Eleanor, and Van Helsing stood breathless, hearts racing from the battle they had just fought. "It's over," Eleanor whispered, tears streaming down her face as relief flooded through her. She felt free, unburdened by the dark influence that had threatened to consume her. Cedric embraced her tightly, holding her close. "You are safe, my dear. You are truly safe." Van Helsing nodded, his expression a mixture of exhaustion and satisfaction. "But we must remain vigilant. Darkness is always lurking, always seeking to return. We must be ready." With the first rays of sunlight pouring through the shattered windows, the castle began to feel alive again. As if it were shedding the shackles of its dark past. Cedric and Eleanor exchanged glances, a silent understanding passing between them. "Together, we will rebuild," Cedric said, determination filling his voice. "This castle can become a sanctuary, a place of hope and light." Eleanor smiled through her tears, her heart swelling with pride for her father and the bravery they had shown together. "Yes, we'll make it a home," Van Helsing, sensing their resolve, added, "and we will ensure that the shadows never return. We will guard this place and all who inhabit it." As they began to exit the dark chamber, stepping into the light that had replaced the shadows, Cedric turned back one last time, glancing at the remnants of the altar. Alucard may be gone, but his legacy will serve as a reminder of the darkness we overcame. We must honor that fight. Eleanor nodded, her spirit soaring with hope. And with every dawn that rises, we will celebrate our victory and cherish our newfound freedom. Hand in hand, they stepped into the light, ready to face whatever the future might hold, united in their courage and love. A beacon of hope against the darkness that had once threatened to consume them all.